First, this is a video just simply started because I'm tired of all the movies and the comics and the cartoons just destroying what a hero is. To them, a hero is somebody with superpowers, and that's about it. Or someone who does a good thing or define right by their actions because they have superpowers. That's what a hero is. That's not what a hero is. The best example of a hero that I could think of comes from the Disney cartoon Hercules. And the reason for this, like, this can be applied to anybody or anything and turn any character into a hero. And I like seeing stories like this because this is like the best description of how to actually be a hero and how to do a hero well. In the movie, or the cartoon, the animation, the Disney feature, Hercules starts off basically with no powers. Like, it doesn't start off there, but he starts off as a human. Actually starts off as a god and gets his powers taken away, and then he becomes just super strength with no additional perk or benefit. But he starts off with nothing but super strength, and be it that might be like a superpower within itself, he's not a god, and he doesn't know where he is. But he does have a loving family that he connects to. But his super strength is actually seen as a hindrance that holds him back. It's not what makes him great. This hasn't loaded in yet. It's something that's just a part of him. And if anything, he wishes it wasn't a part of him because it's actually causing problems for him. But going on from there, eventually he makes a mistake, lets his powers go over control, destroys a few things because he decides to play frisbee, and that's when his parents tell him that he's the descendant of a god, which should have been obvious with his super strength. And then he goes to seek out Phil to begin his training. Now, when he starts his training, he's not really good. He's actually failing a lot, and it even shows that it's actually getting to him, that he's getting sad, he's showing emotion. And eventually character growth becomes apparent. He starts becoming faster, stronger, starts hitting his targets, and it shows that he's getting happy, he's getting excited. It's character growth. Then he goes to fight his first big boss, which is the Hydra, and he struggles, but in the end he prevails, not because he has superpower, but because of ingenuity. It's not exactly as accurate it's not accurate at all to the original story, but he doesn't defeat the Hydra with his powers by powering up or because he has superpowers. He defeats him thinking outside of the box. His powers do play a huge role, but in the original Greek mythology, Hercules didn't even really use super strength to defeat the Hydra. He used his brain and his wits. Most of his trials he did. Now, after that, they just skip past all of the other trials because it's just going to be the same thing. Him defeating one trial after another, and it takes up a lot of time. They don't want to build the character up that high because the character's already built. You already love the character. He has human. He has a family. He has a friend. He has a teacher. He's trained to achieve what he has. He struggles. He breathes. He's a human being. And this gives you like a connection to him. But even after he's at the top, he's still struggling with like basic social interactions because he's still human. Well, he eventually gets a love interest, which is another human thing that happens that helps us connect to this demigod. And this interaction, he struggles just like we do. He struggles with talking with her, he struggles with flirting, he struggles with everything about her, just like we all do. Like his first kiss, everything, it's still just as silly as a human is. And it's natural interactions. It's not some power fantasy of men being super macho, getting the girl just because they're strong. That's comic relief. No one actually believes in that. No one actually believes that stuff makes good storytelling. He eventually gets turned against him, and here's where like everything he's done up until now barely makes him a hero, because anybody can go in there and try to save someone's life if they have superpowers. That actually, more than not, makes you a villain within most comic books, because you become reliant on your powers become your identity, which is what's happening with Captain Marvel and a lot of other female heroes, and your powers become who you are. You don't become who you are, you become the superpower. Just like with Batwoman's not anything special. She's Batman but a woman. There's nothing really unique or benefiting about her being her. That's the reason why people don't really like her. Why should they go see Batwoman when they can just see Batman and then just imagine Batman had tits? Like, no one really cares who they are until they put the costume on. Hercules' defining moment as a hero is set when he loses his powers. When he makes a deal with Hades that he will give up his powers for one day. In exchange, nothing bad can happen to the one woman that he loves, because that's human. That's not God. I've been looking for a village this whole entire time, and it's right next to spawn. And I think I've played this seed before. What are the odds of it giving me the same seed twice? Because I remember this cliff. No, it's different. Yeah, it's different. I don't even play Minecraft that much. But anyway, he loses his powers, and instead of staying and hiding with the woman that he loves for an entire day, he goes back to protect the city. The city that only used him because he had powers. They didn't want to help Hercules. They didn't even care to help Hercules. Once they found out that Hercules lost his powers, they left him. This is actually a pretty good city that I'm used to. Everybody go home. Let me see. I don't want to respawn anchor. I'll take this. Anyway, what ends up happening from there is he still decides to save the city, even though this means certain death, and he's getting pummeled by the Cyclops. A hero is not defined by his ability to put everybody in their homes. It's not defined by how easily he can do things. He's defined by what he's willing to sacrifice. That's what makes a hero a hero. And Hercules is willing to sacrifice his life to defend his city. Well, I'm going to kill you. He eventually tries to set in this process, it's not the city that he saved that saved his life. It's the person that cared about him the most, his girl. She steps up and pushes Hercules out the way, and in exchange dies, and Hercules gets all his powers back because no one pegged her to be a hero. A hero is not somebody who has powers and saves people's lives. A hero is somebody who is willing to risk their life to save somebody else. Thus the reason why Kamen Rider is so famous, even though he has no powers. Anyway, this new generation, they don't really seem to get and understand that at all. They feel like superheroes are the ones with the powers, which is the reason why a lot of these superhero movies, especially the ones with the women, suck. They're just not good. And it's not because there's women in there. Told you you're going to die. I'm sorry, I just don't like the useless villagers. The nitwits. There's no one even in there. It's the sacrifice. And they even say that at the end of the movie. Hercules eventually goes to sacrifice his life to save the woman he loves. And it says the true measure of a hero is not by the strength of his muscle or the strength of his mind, but the strength of his heart. It's somebody who is willing to sacrifice their life to save somebody else. That's what makes a hero. These movies with the unemotional female characters, they are basically ruining what it makes to be a hero, and they're actually the most sexist movies I've actually seen over women, because the only thing that makes them a hero, it's not the superpowers, it's not the it's not the fact that they're willing to sacrifice their life. It's the superpowers. That's what makes them a hero. The fact that they have superpowers. It's not who they are and the stuff they do. It's not the people they save. It's the fact that they have the ability. They're the strongest hero out there. They're the fastest, the strongest, the smartest. They have no connection, no family. They have no love interest. They have nothing. They're empty. They're shallow. And it's the lack of everything. They don't want, even the zombies don't want the nitwit. It's the fact that, like I said, they have nothing to them but superpowers. And it's that in itself. Get them. Turn them. Turn them so I can cure them and make them useful. The only thing that makes them who they are is their powers. Which, in my mind, makes them an object. Because the same thing can be said about anything. Like, it's not the fact that, like I said, the only thing that could possibly make a instead of zombie, it's a baby zombie villager. Oh, you little brat. Nope. And you stay. But that's basically my take on a hero. A hero is measured by their ability to sacrifice. And no female superhero that I've seen sacrifices anything. Like, none from the MCU universe. None of them. Like, the closest thing they get to sacrificing would be they had something taken from them against their will. They did not give it up forcefully. And I might be wrong. Like, there might be like plenty of females out there. I just haven't seen them, or I can't think of them right away. But that's my definition of a hero. A hero is somebody who is willing to sacrifice what they have to protect someone else. Not somebody who has powers. Not somebody who gets things for free. Not somebody who gets things easily. A hero is a measure of a person's nobility, their commitment, their drive. Like, even John Wick, the fact that he's a murder machine. They say that in the movie. It's the fact that he is a man of will, commitment, drive, and all dedication. But that's not seen in a lot of female movies. It's not about them struggling. It's like, if a female character wouldn't get shot unless they're bulletproof, a male character gets shot, he might actually die. They have there's a human level aspect to them. And like I said, I'm not seeing this in a lot of the MCU universes. But yeah, that's my pure definition of what a hero is. If you want to make a strong female role, you have to make them human. They have to have a family. They have to have connections to something other than they have to have connection to something other than the fact that they have powers. But that's my interpretation on what a hero is and how to make one. Anyway, Six-Toe Wolf, signing off.